Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is a construction base. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. So there's something very important that we need to really take into consideration at any given time in the construction industry. In fact, not just in the construction industry, but in any field, be it finance, be it business, be it medicine, whatever field. And that issue or that thing that I want to outline is the issue of having a diary. So there are different types of diaries, of course, especially in construction. You find that there's a site visit diary, a day work diary, an instruction book, a records book. Yeah, all those kind of, if you can call them journals or diaries. But why I'm talking about the diary today is because a diary is a very, very important tool that can help you grow in the construction industry or in any field for that matter. But of course, we're talking about construction. Yeah, so a diary will help you grow in so many ways. But I just want to mention a few. So, why is it important to have a diary? Well, for example, there are different projects, different sites, different experiences, and different challenges that you're going to encounter in your profession. So, for example, today you may have, or let's say last month, you may have been assigned to building or constructing a service station. This month, you're assigned to building a warehouse. Next month, maybe you may be assigned to be part of a manufacturing plant. But then, the important thing about having a diary is this. So every single time, be it in a meeting, be it on site, be it wherever, always take down notes. Take those notes down because they're going to be very helpful in the future. For example, you may encounter a problem when building a service station. That problem might be an issue that has to do with maybe you do not really know the statutory bodies that you need to visit for you to get the approvals that you need in order to commence the construction or for you to proceed with this construction project. So you have to write down all those steps so that in future you will not forget and you will be able to remember and refer to your diary to say, oh, I wrote it somewhere. We need a permit from this organization, we need a permit from that organization. And that way you are growing and you are definitely gaining more experience. Now, a diary also helps when you are going to record problems on site. So there may be a challenge where, let's say you're constructing a warehouse. And so this warehouse, you may have challenges, maybe joining the end plates, joining the beams. And so some challenges might be you may not have the right profession on site, or you may have issues with joining this weight of steel with this other steel that has a different weight. But still, you have to find a way on how you can make that work out. And so when you encounter such a challenge, it's important to write it down to say, okay, today this was a challenge, and this is how we solved it, and these were the people that were involved in solving this issue. Okay, how did it impact the cost? You write it down, and what was the real or the cause of this whole issue? You write it down. In future, you're assigned to a different site, you'll be able to refer to it and say, oh, okay, we encountered this issue and this is how it was solved. So it might be a similar problem, and so you may refer to it. Why? Because you wrote it down in your diary. Now, other times it could be conflicts or disputes on site. So these issues might be where an instruction is issued, but then a contractor does not execute it. Then later on, maybe towards the completion of the project, the issue comes back. And so if the consultant engineer might say, well, I told you to change these steel columns, but you did not change them. Now you need proof to show, oh, where is the instruction that you made for this to happen? And so that is only possible if there's an instruction book or a diary where you write it down and both parties sign that instruction. Now, of course, when it comes to instructions, there's a specific book, an instruction book on site, where all these things are written down. But of course, it's important to also just write personal notes that will help you grow. You may think about them, you may refer to them, read through, and they might stick to your head. So that even when you go on site, you'll be able to remember to say, oh, okay, this is how we dealt with this issue. Now, one other thing is a diary also helps you have construction data. Of course, everything that you are recording in the book, that's data that you're keeping. And so construction data is very important. There's what we call, I've forgotten the term, but of course, for lack of better terms, let me say there's what we call skills transfer. Now, if you keep data, it's easy to transfer it to your juniors who will be coming to join you in the field. And of course, it's very, very important to transfer skills to the next generation or to the next people who are coming behind you. That way, the system is being fed with the data and no one is being left behind. Meaning there won't be a gap in terms of how you operate or how you practice your professions. Everybody will come in very well baked. So it's very, very important to keep data, as it helps you in helping others also to grow in your profession. Because at the end of the day, what you want is to have a number of people or a lot of people who are able to do the right thing on site. And that is only possible if you are able to help them. And one way you can help them is by giving them that book. So each time, maybe on a company, a new intern or a new employee comes to site, and maybe you're in the same department, all you can do is, well, my friend, for starters, here's my diary. Just go through it, see a few things. You know, these are the most common challenges we face. These are the most common problems. These are the most common conflicts. And this is how you solve them. These are the people who are involved. This is how you handle this, how you handle that. That way, your mentee, if we can call it that, your junior will be able to blend in well to the system or into the company, and you won't really struggle much to groom this individual. So diaries are very important. Always take notes down. A very good friend of mine, who is an editor, wrote something, I think when she was writing an article on what it takes to be a good writer. And one of them was taking down notes. So for you to also be a very good professional, you need to take down notes. You go on site for a meeting, take down notes. You visit a site to inspect works, take down notes. At times, visiting a site or any construction project is a learning experience. And the only way you can even learn more is by writing it down. And it also gives you a basis for you to do some research. So if, let's say, you find maybe a contractor is carrying out some procedure that you may not be familiar with, you can write it down to say, okay, the contractor did this, did that. So let me go home and research on it, or Google, or ask other senior colleagues in my field. So always take down notes. That way you will be the best at what you do and you will know your craft very well. Have a diary. Now, there are quite a few diaries I want to show you. Of course, you can pick whatever kind of book you want. Be it a notebook, be it a diary, be it a big diary, whatever book. So long as you are able to take down notes, please take down the notes. So I have, so there's this, for example, this is a diary, okay? This is also a diary, depending on the size that you prefer. So this is also a diary. This too is also a diary. Okay. This too is also a diary. If you can manage or afford, you can even have different diaries or separate notebooks for different projects. So if you're working on a warehouse, you can have a warehouse diary where you just write everything that has to do with the warehouse. You're working on a manufacturing plant or a factory, just have everything that has to do with, a diary that has to do only with the factory, the warehouse. That's it. So please guys, have a diary. It's very, very helpful, and as you progress in your profession, you'll be able to look back and say, wow, so this is how much of knowledge I've been gathering. Maybe I can write a book. That's if you want to. But key is have somewhere to write notes. Alright guys, subscribe for more construction content.